Marianne, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Marianne Holmlund and I work in communications in Nokia.
Okay. Now we're here with Nokia discussing the strategy for emerging markets. Could you tell us the activities of Nokia in emerging markets?
Sure. We've been working with emerging markets since 2003 when we introduced our first lineup of mobile phones as well as solutions for networks. So we have always taken a holistic view to the entry or emerging markets. We see that you need to have affordable phones together with affordable services.
How expensive are the phones there?
Phones, well, they can cost, if you look at new models, of course the prices vary from market to market, but the most affordable ones have been around 65 euros. But of course, over time, some of the prices are coming down, so you might be seeing even cheaper versions. But it's always important to remember that the cost of phones is not the most important thing, it's a total cost of ownership. So both the phones and the services have to be affordable to make it a good case for the consumers and for the operators in those markets.
Okay. Now, are there differences between the markets, China, India, Africa?
Well, naturally there are differences between markets, but we see that there are a lot of similar consumers who would like to have their first mobile phone, possibly their first phone, and are looking for quality products with no brand name and well-known service capability should there be any problems with those phones. And they have similar needs. They want to talk with their nearest and dearest. They want to do some business. They want to text. And now they're looking into having cameras in their phones. So there are similarities, but of course differences from market to market because of cultural reasons and ways people act and operate.
Do you have special features or special services like light? I heard about light being in the phone because in some countries it's really important to...
Yeah, flashlight has been actually one of these small but important innovations that we have introduced in mobile phones. And the reason is that if you live in a place where the power outages are quite common, or there is no light, flashlight is the way that it helps you to find your way to work or home and move around.
Is there a tendency to have a phone performing different services, like the phone being central to some of your targets, being able, like you said, to text, to talk, but also to listen to music, to watch? I mean, the phone becoming a central device for
we
this.
We see exactly the same development that has happened in European countries before. More and more things evolve around the mobile phone. So like you mentioned, music is hugely important. In emerging markets, people listen to it, but they don't have MP3 players, they listen to radio. Radio is also a very powerful way of communications otherwise, so that's very important. You also begin to see that people are getting their first cameras within phones, so they are actually able to take their first images and share them with their friends, send those over using Bluetooth connections. So you begin to see more and more of the same technology coming to the entry models as well.
Okay. Is there a digital divide?
I'm sure there is, but I think that mobile phones and the opportunities that they provide for people to actually bring up their standard of living by offering opportunities to do, for example, business in new ways is narrowing that divide. I give you an example. If you think of a fisherman, they typically would go out to sea and then they come to home port and then they sell the fish for the price of the day. But with mobile phones that they have, they give a call when they're approaching and they're checking the ports. What's the price of the fish of the day? And they always go to the one where they get the best price. It may sound quite, what's a big difference, but it actually makes a big difference in their income.
Absolutely. Any big plans or any big major announcements, the 208 in reference to these markets?
What we see happening more and more in the enter markets and in our lineup is that we are bringing different types of mobile phones because people have different needs. There, in all the markets, you may see some models that are more fashionable. You may see some models which have, the latest technology. You may see phones which are more directed to people who do business with them. So you begin to see same kind of portfolio that we have throughout Nokia happening also in the entry markets.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Marianne.
Thank you very much. It was nice talking to you.